Now that we've stuffed our pieces, it's time to close these openings here, well, our stuffing area. And what you'll need is you'll need your thread and your needle, and then you're going to need an extra needle, preferably one that has a bigger opening up here at the very top, a little bit bigger, because we're going to need that extra space here in a little bit. So when you are ready to start doing it, you're going to measure out, make sure that it's quite a bit longer than your actual needle, and then you're going to make one knot. You don't need to make 2 knots. So that's how much extra thread I have. The thread tail is what it's called. I just made 1 knot. That's just enough to stop me from when I start here. So now I'm going to start sewing this opening closed. Just going to and if it goes through, it's no big deal. Just hang on to the thread, pull it back, and keep the knot on that one side. And then just keep doing. You're gonna go through, and then go through again to the next spot, every little bit. So you're looping your thread. You can see the loops there. See that loop? You're looping it over, and it's gonna pull down tight. You can hold it together to where the slit, where you hold the slit together. Sometimes you have to open it up to get it going like that, and then pull the thread again. So this is my last stitch that I'm taking. I'm pulling it through and I'm making a loop. There's my loop. Now I'm going to make a knot. So all I'm going to do is stick my needle through that loop and pull tight. And I'm going to do that again in that same spot. I'm going to poke through. I'm going to make a loop. There's my loop. And both threads, I'm going to stick my needle through, and now I'm going to make a knot. So I've double knotted it. So now what do I do with this? Do not clip those threads down there, because you'll untie your knot or have a chance of possibly clipping the knot. So the best thing to do is stick your thread back in here. So I'm sticking it in there, kind of where I finished, and I'm coming over to here. You can see where it's at, see where my tip of my needle is. And now I'm going to pull that all the way through. And I'm going to hold this, and I'm going to pull real tight on that thread. And now I'm going to clip it. Be careful not to clip your project. I'm going to clip it, and then I'm going to stretch. And what happened was the thread is in there, but it snapped back, so it's not sticking out. So you don't see anything. Now what do I do with this one? Well, because I had that knot to start with. All I do is take this other needle. Make sure your threads are clipped real good here at the end. This other needle, I'm going to thread it. I'm going to re-thread a needle on here. Just like that. Pull it so it looks like that. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to go in where I started here. And I'm going to come across and come out. So see, like that. And now I'm going to pull the thread all the way out. So there it is there. Now I'm going to pull it real tight. Be careful not to pull too tight though. And now I'm going to snip and then stretch the fabric back. So now both of those threads are under the fabric. They're not sticking out where you can see them, and it helps with the stability of what you just did. That way you didn't clip down and clip the knot. So the knots are there, and now there's, you know, about an inch of a thread past it, so there's no chance of those knots coming unraveled and this whole thing opening up. So that is how you hide your thread and thread tail entries. So now we need to finish all the rest of the pieces and go to the next step.